Hey everyone, this is Patrick with SFMF Fishing, and I just wanted to go over some things on skirted baits. Okay, I'll start with, I'll just talk about spinners, but for any skirted bait, when you go to the store or you get a subscription box and it doesn't have the skirt color that's right for your water, no matter what, you're not going to catch a fish. I mean, unless that thing is so starved, it really. So to better your chances in catching fish, especially the big bass, you might want to go ahead and change out your skirt. It's not that difficult. Skirts are relatively wicked cheap, and you can change your bait into most any color you want to suit your water. So if you get a white spinner bait or a chartreuse spinner bait, let's just say white, you want to change it into, let's say, more of a gill color, you can. It's not that difficult. Don't let it scare you. Pre-plan, like, I'm going to be going fishing next weekend in New Hampshire. I'm going to be teaching somebody how to bass fish for the first time, and so I'll spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday up in New Hampshire and give some kayak bass fishing lessons, and hopefully this person's going to learn a lot. And one of the baits I will be throwing, because I've read what's in the water, and at least the water's up there, is I changed this from a completely white spinner bait into a purple and white with a gill dust trailer. And you want to know why I put a trailer on it, and I watched a video and it made sense, so I started doing it, and it makes perfect sense. You can catch fish without a trailer on a spinnerbait, but you'll get more hookups with a trailer. And the reason being is when that's going through the water, okay, and they grab and they feel the metal, they're going to let go. But if they grab and they feel the soft, fleshy part of the soft plastic, they're going to hold on longer and then try to make off with that bait. Since I've been using trailers on my spinner baits, every single hookup I have is in the corner of the mouth. It's because they're fleeing with that bait. They're not just grabbing and you got lucky and pulled it at the right time. No, they're fleeing with that bait. So, you know, this is cut down, but it's no big deal. I will get more hookups with this than without. So, and the reason why I went with the purple and white, I'm experimenting with what's in that water. And what I will do, the first bait I throw until I catch a fish in New Hampshire will be this spinner bait. And I'll do a video. So Friday, late morning, early afternoon, when I finally get up there or get on the water, I will throw this until I catch a fish. So that's why I use a trailer. the fish will feel the fleshy of the plastic and hold on longer. And literally, they will run with that bait. They will take that spinnerbait and run. So it's not a check it out, see if it's edible. It's a hit and run. So my advice, use a soft plastic. Use a soft plastic, they're cheap. What I use a lot of is Arsenal and 6 Sense. They're good. They're good quality. The fish seem to really enjoy the baits. So this one that I did was a Dobbins. I made it from a white one into a purple white. Little orange gill color on the bottom, some purple top on the head to match, and a little red on the gills. So now I'm going to show you how I do that. So I have this 3/4 ounce right here, and I'm going to change this into a bluegill bait. I know. Not much I can do. I mean, I could change out this willow into a gold to match both of these. You can also do that. It's relatively inexpensive to go ahead and change out your willows, but I won't need to. I'm going to keep it just like that. And so the first thing I do is, like this particular one, and I'm using this one as an example, has a plastic ring on the skirt. I'm actually going to cut that off, and the reason being is because I don't want to hook myself by trying to pull that skirt off. So now I have a naked spinnerbait. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do first is, while I have nothing in my way, I'm just going to take a scrunch pad and rough up the surface of the head of this bait. Just get some scratches in there, you know. There we go. Now I'm going to just take a microfiber rag and just kind of clean it up. There we go. Now I've got some of that coating off, because what I'm going to do after I get the skirting on is I am going to go ahead and color it. I do have paints. I got a compressor, an air gun, stuff like that, but not everybody does. And I don't think it's fair to show you how to make it real fancy, professional, if you don't have all the equipment. So I have this gill colored skirt. We're going to change that bait from this to this. In the waters I fish, they are stained and muddy. Very rarely do I get to a clear water situation, and if I did, I have the baits for clear water. What I don't, a lot of these companies don't send me, is baits for where I fish. So what I'm going to do is move this ring all the way up, just like this, all the way up, until I have about 1.5 inches, maybe even an inch or less, so maybe even 3/4. Let's go 3/4 of material here, and the rest of the skirting right here. And this is where it'll go. So what I do is, because that ring's been on there so long, you know, the some of the skirting material fuses together. Like I said, you don't have to buy super expensive, okay? But if you buy some inexpensive skirting, make sure it's got at least the plastic holder holding that skirting. You'll be all set. So I open up that skirting on the long side to the middle, and then I am just going to take this hook and put it right through the middle. Now I'm going to work this. I'm going to work it all the way through. There's a keeper right there. This is going to be the tough part, getting the keeper through, but not a problem. See that? No problems. See the keeper's right there coming through nicely. So now I'm just going to work that up and over, up and over. And there we go. Now, am I where I want to be? Nope. Almost. Not quite there yet. There we go. Now we're up and over. So, there we go. I now have the skirting on. Now, what I want to do is, you see how I got the yellow kind of like on the side? I could just take the whole thing right here and just spin it. Now I got the yellow, the chartreuse on the bottom. Okay. And the rest of the colors just all the way through. And see how everything is just like boom right there. I'm not going to trim the inside, even though it looks like it would be a pain in the booty to go ahead and put a soft plastic on there. It's for a reason. It gives it full body, and that's what I want. So far, you saw that yellow bait. Okay, all of a sudden, it's a yellow bait it's a gill bait with a yellow head. So what I'm gonna do is, I've got permanent markers. That's all you really need. You need permanent markers, okay? And I am going to go ahead and finish that gill right up and through here with the red. You don't have to be a super fancy artist. No big deal. Get what you can. Now, see that? So now what I'm going to do is take the orange and orange it up a little, right in the middle where that yellow was. And a little bit on the side. There we go. So that's going to be seen from below, okay? So now, what do I want? I want the green. I'm gonna go a little green right here, right up on top. Just changing that yellow a little bit. And I'm gonna put some blue on that. To mix the blue and the green together, and one more shot of orange on that with those colors, and that kind of gives me a brown. Okay, just know how to mix your colors. That's all. And then what I'm going to do is take the violet and just give it a little bit of violet here and there. So, when it's going through the water, this is what it will look like. And so now I got my skirt like this, and I haven't trimmed my skirt yet. And sometimes you want to, sometimes you don't have to, or you don't want to. It's totally your choice. But because this is a 3/4, I have the 3.2 gill dust. I've got to get some more of these, 6 cents. Usually what I need to do is I need to trim these, but being the 3/4 ounce, I don't need to trim it, but normally I do trim the tip off of a swim bait when I'm doing this, but I don't have to with this one. And there we go. And see here. There. There we go. Right on the slot there. I never said I was the best at threading on soft bait. So I've got the keeper right there, digging in, I hope. But what I am going to do is take my super glue and give it a drop or two. And same on the skirt where I attached it. And there we go. Now, you had seen that yellow bait. Now I have a gill bait. And now I know basically the skirt will not need any trimming because it's as long as the soft bait. So when it's going through the water, this will be wobbling around like fins and everything else, and this will go through, and it's like these two small fish blades right here will look like they're riding in the school, and they will go after the bottom before they go after the top. And they will hold on longer because of the soft plastic feels like flesh. And I can't tell you enough, if you haven't thrown your spinner baits with soft plastics, do it. Use a small profile, but do it. Those fish will bite and run. Like I said, since I've been using soft plastics on my spinner baits, I've been getting more bites, and they've been solid bites, and I have not had one shake off yet because of the way they hook, because they grab it with such intensity. I do have a video on my Facebook page, SFMF Fishing. Go to my Facebook page, look for it. It says first fish of the day, and I caught that on a bluegill Z-Man spinnerbait. Thank you. Yeah, and I do have that my Facebook page now, so go ahead, follow, add pictures if you want of your catches. It's okay. What I want to do is also show you, get some inexpensive, you can go to Amazon and get some decent inexpensive fishing pliers. These have the split ring plier to them. They got the cutter right there. And what's very important, especially with your bladed jigs and whatnot, is these slots, okay? You look at your spinner bait, especially after a bite, like this bait, because I've been messing with it, kind of goes like this. So you take these slots and you just kind of bend your bait back to where it needs to be. That saves you a lot of pressing with your hands, because you want your spinners to run true. You don't want them to run sideways. You don't want them to run any other way. You want them to run true. So there you go. This is how, if you go to the store and they're wiped out of the colors you want, this is how you make your own color. So until hopefully in New Hampshire, I will, like I said, when I get up there next Friday, I will throw just this until I catch a fish, and show you by changing the color in the skirts, it works. And until next time, remember, if you know any veterans, you haven't heard from them for a while, please give them a call, give them a buddy check, make sure they're okay. 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and these guys put their life on the line to keep your freedoms. The least you could do is give them a call, make sure they're okay. But until next time, peace out.